Hello everybody. Just going to do a pit 150 run here. I'm testing out my new camera that I got. Just seeing how it operates here. So bear with me for 1 second, but we'll get this going. All right, let's do a pit 150 so I can test this camera out. See what happens. Be a short video. All right, let's get this going. Haven't been playing too much, so bear with me. There he goes, jumping around. Just drag these guys with us. Seems like they're moving a little slower than I want. Drag them too far, did I? It seems like there's this one monster that just drifts off, you know? Like, come on. Get over here. See if we can speed this up some. Quit jacking with this camera. I got a new wireless camera, so I was trying to get it set up, and wireless makes it interesting because I don't have to. It's right up to the Xbox, so I don't have to run a cable from my Xbox over to my laptop because I watch this on my laptop. Makes it a little interesting. Remember, fell soup flare is not good against one monster. So don't waste your time. Just go find you another pack. Chop them down. Especially elites. Usually you'll see me run off and leave them once the elites are dead. Need a boss for dads because I run slower than what I normally do. Usually I want to be at the boss about 9 minutes just in case, but if I get an ad, we'll be fine. No biggie. If I don't, then we'll slug it out, which it looks like we're going to be slugging it out. 8 minutes, we should be alright though. There are some ads. Yeah, couldn't do nothing. Couldn't get it lined up. Should get some more ads though. There's some. Can get it lined up right. Nope. Didn't get it lined up that time. It's alright. Sure, we'll get some more. nice solid hits. Yeah, I'm just gonna get those ads to pop off. Get them to line up. There we go. Let's see if this will work. There we go. Got it. Just have to get them lined up where I can do a lot of damage to them and the boss and get it to echo out. And that's what the Fell Soothsayer does. Of course, I would go over my build here real fast so we can extend this out a little bit. Just to make it interesting. Camera seems to be working okay. It's actually pretty good for a wireless camera. Can't believe the quality of getting off of it. Alright, let's go over the build real fast. Just for those that hadn't seen it. Doesn't look like I got anything item-wise that I would use. But what I will do here is go over my gear. Use this helmet instead of the Harlequin's Crest. I want the 13 max resolve stacks that you see there. That's just for extra damage. Harlequin's Crest is good, but from a deep push, I would suggest getting helmet in this range. Of course, we have the Shroud of False Death. I have a 3-star one, and I didn't hit the max. I get the star on the max life. But I was able to hit it 3 times with my masterworking, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers, just where I'm at. Gloves. Important part of the gloves here is the lucky hit, up to 15% chance to restore the primary resource. The reason for that is because I don't use the Midnight Sun Ring, so I need something to help regenerate that to get the overpowers going. So that's what that actually does, is gets that. Of course, you have your barrier generator, and I don't run Mythic Circle, so I run Overpower. I just can't stay in the Mythic Circle. It doesn't make sense to me. So, you know, that's just what we do. Pants, max resolve stacks, the most important thing on this, hitting it 3 times. That'll give me a total of 26 plus whatever, put me over 30 with the default. So, most definitely get the max resolve stacks. On the boots, run just regular boots. Movement speed, max life, dex, vortex speed, and additional movement speed on my tempering. Of course, duelist. The ferocity gives me additional stacks of attack speed, which I have my attack speed on this build, which you can see on d4builds.gg. The attack speed is maxed out for the maximum damage for the Fell Soothsayer. Of course, my erotic Lepic. Chance for core skills to hit twice is what you want to hit on this, but the most important thing is the bottom stat. The bottom stat you want at 3%. If you have a 4-star one and it only has 2% on the bottom, but you have one with just a star on chance for core skills to hit twice, man, use the 3% one. You're going to get a lot more damage from your critical strikes, which then trigger your talisman amulet to push your overpowers, and you're going to be overpowering and critical striking, which adds 60% more damage. You're going to be doing that quite a bit, so most definitely get that. On my runes, I use Pock and Q, and then of course here I use the TAM and XL, whatever you want to call it, just for the maximum life. I'm always casting a non-channeling core skill, which is Quill Volley. So, I mean, you run through this 8 times. I've got to cast Quill Volley just to get it done. And I don't know if the chance to hit twice, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't count as 2 cast. But I always have 20% maximum life going. And of course here, as you can see, you have the Pock and Q. which gives you the barrier, 45% barrier, that the bulwark, whatever you want to call it, gives. And then what it is you want 125% or 122.5%, something like that, 123% additional barrier generation to actually get that 55% more barrier, which gives you 100% life. And I can go, show you what I have here shortly. Banished Lord's Talisman, maximum life equals more damage. That's off the vicious shield that I use, so most definitely I hit the max life here. And of course you want the 60% on the bottom, because you're always going to be critical striking with your Kalepic, which you're going to be overpowering with this when you use 275%, which the Kalepic does, so you get that 60% damage, which is important. Here I use the Fell Soothsayer. Maximum life's what's important. As you can see, I have resource cost reduction on 2 times on this ring, 1 time on my next ring. And what that does is brings the cost of Quill Volley down, which then reduces the penalty that you get here on the staff for making this core skill a basic skill with a 30% penalty based on the vigor cost. So I'm reducing that cost, which brings the damage reduction down on that. Of course, you want to hit max life using Vicious Shield. Max life equals damage, so you want as much of that as you can get. This is the ring that's been giving me a headache. It's the only ring I haven't triple hit, and I've rolled this thing probably about 3,000 times. But you want max life 3 times on this, but this is what I've got at this point, so this is where I'm at. I have attack speed on here to make sure my attack speed is up. And you want the redirected force on here because you gain the critical strike damage equal to 68% of your block chance. Your block chance is actually stacking more than 100%. So that's causing your critical strike damage to shoot up in the 20, 30, 40,000 range. So most definitely you want that. I didn't speak about, I do use Moonrise here, and that's for the additional attack speed to get my first bucket up to 100%. And then it gets my second bucket for attack speed with the ferocity stacks is about 65%. So that puts me at the cap for the break points on the actual attack speed. So I'm getting the max amount of hits when the rod goes off in order to get the max damage from this and the Fell Soothsayer. All right, so let me take you over just my basic stats real fast. What we have here is, as you can see, I'm at 1611 buffed. With this, my resists aren't capped. My armor is capped when I run solo because of the extra armor I get from right here. But whenever I'm running in a group, I only have like 975, 980, something like that. You don't have to worry about it. As long as you have 100% barrier, you're good to go. I mean, it's going to take quite a bit to kill you. As you can see here, I'm at 83% on this. Once my moon rise kicks in, that puts me at 103% actually. That fills that bucket, and then I get right at 65% from ferocity stacks from the hunter, which puts me at the maximum break point. Critical strike damage right now is 1331, but that multiplies up whenever the rod and the other stuff starts going off. It can go up to 15, 20, 30,000. Overpower damage, I just put that. I mean, any overpower damage is good. All damage goes up to about 2,000 whenever I'm fighting. But as you can see, I'm at 739 in town. Lightning damage, 618. The rest of these, fire is important. It's a Jaguar. It's fire, 353, so it adds a little extra damage there. Damage to elites and crowd-controlled enemies. Maximum life, I'm at 2341 buffed, or 23,145 buffed. Normally I run around town, I have like 22,000 or something like that. And of course, it will go up with the 20% runes that kick in, things of that nature. So my life can get up to probably about 27, 28,000. More life you have, the more damage you can do. Block chance stays at 45% because of the staff, but it does stack up because of the redirected force. And also this on my pants gain 15%. So I do get 100% block whenever I am fighting, which helps, of course, deal with damage, deal with damage taken, but it also helps with the damage I'm dishing out. As you can see, my barrier bonus at 125%. Mixing that with the runes, the bulwark runes, 125% of 45%. Actually, it's about 122.5, 123.5, somewhere in there. That will give you the additional 55% you need to get 100% barrier bonus. That barrier bonus is very important to help keep you alive. And of course, you see my vigor cost reductions at 35.8, which helps with my damage on my quill volley. My movement speed's at 162.2 in town. Whenever the stealth kicks in from the false death, gives me 40%. That puts me at 200. So if I'm not fighting, it takes care of it. My lucky hit chance to trigger my primary resource regen is 27.5. Of course, there's my lucky hit to gain the vigor, which is 66.4. And then we had to play that reduction. Now we will go and I run Jaguar, just as my build states on Diablo 4 builds.gg. And I'll run you through what I use for my boards. It's very important to follow this path. First board I use as a starter board. The key is get all the boards open and then backfill. Fill in your stuff to get your bonuses and then backfill the additional items. Go for your nodes first, your magic and your rare nodes. And then if you have additional health or something, additional intelligence, strength, things like that, you want to get that later, because the most important damage aspects are these. But here's the way I run this. I have canning in my first board. Gives me good lightning damage. It's just a good overall skill. It actually performed better than the other one, which is, I don't remember, but it was lightning damage. I don't remember which one it was. Then you go up to this board, and here I place the Vicious Shield. And in this one, I am going to put Fulminate. I never could pronounce that right. That gives me additional 200% lightning damage. Remember, my lightning damage, which is quill volley, was over 600%. Then you want to go to the right. Before you go to the right, though, and put this board here, just put a random board over here, and there's a reason that I do that. Doesn't matter what board it is, just throw a board over here, and then open up this board, okay? What this is going to do is make this the number 4 board. This board is cheaper than the board above it, and it helps bring your costs down so you can get these additional things that I have. On this board, you have Convergence, okay? In this board, we're going to place the Spirit Glyph, which gives me Critical Strike, 489. And then I fill this in. Get all the decks I can get in this inside these squares, okay? Once you have this board completed and you're getting ready to go up here to this board, you go over and delete this random board, and that's going to make this board up here, the revealing board, cheaper on these nodes. If you don't do it this way, these nodes are going to cost you over 2,000 decks to get. And as you can see, I still don't have enough to get this one, but I'm not worried about the 2.5% attack speed. That's the one that I wanted to get with the lucky hit chance. So when you delete this board, that you just random board you placed over here, and place this board and use Colossal. Now you can test it. If you place this third board just right in order, you can actually see that these two nodes will cost you over 2,000 dexterity. This at least gets it down to a manageable level. Test it and see. I encourage you. Then you can go back and delete it, put this board back, and then do like I mentioned here. So with that said, what we were looking at is you put Colossal here, you go up, you grab all of these nodes, okay? And then you come back over and go to the left. And you are going to put the sapping board, which most Spiritborns use all the same boards. And on this board, I use the Hybris, which gives you the multiplier for the damage. Gives you additional max resources. It's going to give you vulnerable damage, give you regular damage just from these nodes that you're taking. So this is very important. Just remember to put that spare board. You can put it up here. I don't care where you put it, but since you're going this way, set this up where that before you place this board, you put a random board over here. And then you place this board. And what that does is that makes this board number 3. Okay, but you saved number 2, which is cheaper. Then, like I said, you delete this board once you go, and then you place this board. That'll make this board number 2. Okay. So, well, make it number 3. Sorry, because you go 1, 2, then you place that board at 3. This one will be 4. You delete this board, put this board up here. That'll make this board number 3. And then, of course, you have number 5. I know it's sort of confusing, but I encourage you to test it just to see. Lucky Luciano actually verified this and made a video on it. And it actually helps. It really does. So those are the boards I'm running with the actual glyphs. All my glyphs are level 100. I've done enough pits where that, man, it's crazy. I am Paragon 300. So when you're following if you follow my build, remember, you're going to get this, fill this in. You might not come down here and get these right now, but you're going to fill this in just enough to open this glyph. Then you're going to go up here. You're going to get this. Okay, then you're going to get ready to exit. You're going to fill this space in. You're going to go up here to exit, but then you're going to come back across and go this way to open this board. Place a random board here. Go here, and then come up here. Get this, get ready to exit, delete this board, place this board, revealing, and that's going to help keep your costs down on these nodes. Okay, put Colossal in there. You're going to grab this, and then you come back over, get this stuff, open this board. Remember, you want glyphs and everything. All boards open glyphs, and then you can make sure and come down here and get the resistance to all elements. You can come down and go up here and get the armor, stuff of that nature as you level. I mean, the barrier generator is very important. Most definitely get up there and get that as quick as possible, because you want your barrier generation at 123, right, 123.5, as close to that as you can get. Here's more barrier generation down here. That's all. It's all outlined in my build planner, and it also talks about it a little bit in the notes if you read the notes on that. Okay, the actual skill tree itself, pretty basic. I just put 2 points, one in Thunderspike. You put it in anything because you're not going to use a basic skill. One in Thunderspike, one here. That opens up this, and then you're going to max out Quill Volley, and you're going to go over to Advantageous Quill Volley. Okay. You're going to put 4 points in follow through, 1 point vigorous, 3 points in balanced extortion. You're only going to put 1 point in vortex, all the way over to measured vortex, just for the additional damage. Everything we try to do here is based around damage. Okay, a lot of people question why I don't take like Dementia or something, but I take extra points in the Hunter. That's because I want my Hunter time down so much that I'm almost casting it all the time. Make it quick as possible. More damage. That's what I'm looking at. So I put 1 point in focal point. That gives you the 6 additional points in the block damage. I think that's what it said. Yeah, block damage reduction. And then, of course, you have the Apex that I put max out at 3 points. I go over and put 1 point in Mirage, and then 3 points in Unrestrained Power. Ravager, pretty important. Put 1 point in Ravager, and I go all the way down to measured Ravager. Put 1 point in Endurance. 3 points in for whatever that is. You can see it. And then, of course, we do Armored Hide. I do put 3 points in Armor Hide. And the reason I put 3 points, because I get 2 points from this Prodigy Tempo. And it actually will put that at 5 points. So I'll get the maximum amount out of that. And we're going to go over to Reinforced Armor Hide. And, of course, Scourge. We go over to the healing part. You can also do the maxed vigor. I don't have a need for it. I'd rather get the healing. Either one of them's fine. What you're looking at here is the additional damage that this does against crowd control. Whenever you fear an enemy, remember you have on your helmet where that when an enemy's feared, you do different additional damage. And also here, you do increased damage to crowd controlled enemies. So this is all about doing more damage. Resilient, we have 3 in there. Of course, you get the 1 from the false death. So here you have Brilliance, which gives you 12% additional on your based on your movement speed. You can see my current bonus is 19.5. My Eagle skill, of course, is my Quill Volley, so you want that damage there. Potent. Hitting enemies with a Jaguar skill increases damage they take from you. That's why I want as much of this as I can. It gets my timer down, and I want my timer just rocking all the time where I can get that off. And of course, your Jaguar skills deal increased critical strike damage per stack of ferocity. So that's also going to increase your critical strike damage, so very important there. And then of course we have Resolution. 3 points. 3 points in Spiritual Attunement. And 3 points in Supremacy. And this Prodigy Tempo, that's basically to, when you're casting Quill Volley, remember your rod makes it a basic skill. This actually increases the ranks of all purchase skill by casting a basic skill, which is your rod. You're always casting Quill Volley. That's basically all you do with this build. And it also decreases your cooldowns, so you can get all your skills off. So something that's very important from that perspective. Other than that, I do use Rahir, and I also use Sabu as my backup. On Rahir, we just go straight down the left side. Right here's the additional armor that it grants me whenever I'm solo. And then right down here, of course, you get damage reduction. You get 15% increased damage to taunted enemies. And remember, he taunts the enemies for 5 seconds. So anytime he taunts an enemy, when you're solo, you're going to get this additional damage. Of course, when you're grouped, he isn't there. So we use Sabu. And you can use basically anything on this as long as you have over 80% attack speed. If you do not have 80% attack speed, then I'm going to suggest you take the Barbarian, which gives you attack speed here, in which you would use Bloodthirst. But if you have over 80% attack speed and you're using Moonrise, then I just use the Cover Fire, which fires AoE arrows with Sabu anytime that a skill is used in combat. So just keep that in mind whenever you're looking at it. It's the reinforcement is basically what you like. You can use just about anything on there. I just found that, it slows them, which gives me additional damage. Once I hit 80% slowed, I get additional damage on apprehension. The big thing I use there is that the feared part, because the Scrooge or whatever it is, it always fears enemies whenever I cast it. So I keep my timer down on that. And I'm always doing that 38% increased damage to feared enemies. So it's not just about slowing them to 80% for feared. It's about using that other skill in order to get this other damage boost. So that's what we're looking at from this perspective. Other than that, like I said, I'll post my build is on d4builds.gg. I will post the build and we will take it from there. As you can see with my buffs off, I do have 22,503 health or life, 1,200 armor. And the reason that I overstack it a little bit like that is because when I'm running in a group, it puts me about 975, which is more than enough armor. And my attack power is at 12,000 right now, but I've seen it get as high as 60, 70,000 once I actually start fighting. So I appreciate y'all joining me for this video or watching this video. If you like this type of videos, feel free to subscribe. I will be posting more. We do have the more as I play. It's a little bit late in the season right now. I usually take a break. Of course, it was around the holidays. I hope everyone had happy holidays, Merry Christmas. But I will be trying to post a few more, and as we go into the new season, I will be posting more videos, and I'm going to try to show some leveling, what I do when I level. But I'm pretty intense when I level. I want to get to 60 as quickly as possible, get everything done, get my Paragon. I'm going to dread redoing this Paragons again to 300, but it is something that I will do. If you have any questions or anything, you can feel free to add me in the game. Add me in the game. Looks like someone actually has. But Riot pound 13428. That's my actual user battle tag. So if you want to feel free, you have any questions or anything, let me know. And I will actually help you out the best I can, or give you some advice, or maybe I have some equipment that you may need. I don't know. Just send me a message and we'll take it from there. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you enjoyed the 150 run. If I can help you out in any way, let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.